Don Shula Drive. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami, Florida. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. 8, read. Come on, boy. You got to be ready. General West. 5.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
On second down, Eckler. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6.
Five.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Check it out.
From the gun, Denny. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know the fans are thinking right now, I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school, he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now a passage taken in by Hill. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Joseph now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here we go. 180. They're going to need some therapy after this. Sit. Watch the sit.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there. Either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Let's get it.
Here we go. Black 80!
That's the pass. Hey, check 24.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Rnr Bills first down.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Here we go, G, get off the field.
65, 65.
We got double up.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
That's the West, that's the West, that's the West. 12. That's the West, that's the West. Check that.
Now Williams. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 180!
Check right 54. Right 54. Pick me up. Here we go.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
That's it, baby. We got work.
Their own 25-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the pass.
Off the play fake. Denny. Blitz coming, and down he goes. D. Ford. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Leo! 25, check 25. Hey, exit.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Guinea got his man complete over the middle. It's Bishop. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here we go. 180! It's a party now. It's a party. Hot.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hey, gun. 2. 59, Mike is 59.
Garoppolo. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this 1st quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
White.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Well, the pressure gets to him again. Jalen Smith in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now Eckler. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7.
Set. 60 or. Hey, box truck, box truck.
50, Mike, 50.
Now.
Operating from the gun. Denny, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
They're not ready for this. They still trying.
On the ground, this is Kamara. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Murphy now to return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 38-yard line.
Down. 30 base.
Watch my board. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Denny, and he rifles one incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Denny going for the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Garoppolo on 1st down. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Hey, Charlie! Get it!
To throw on 2nd down, Denny. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They're running it.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The Bills on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Oh, what a juke into space. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
At their own 27-yard line.
Ready up.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They started on the ground with Eckler. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Jet, 6-6, pull it high.
2nd and 1 at their 49-yard
Hard,
line.
hard. Ready.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Denny looking deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go.
Let's go. Hey, let's get there. Check 9. Topper. Now.
1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Let's go.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is 3rd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. It's a quarterback sneak, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, a full half to be played.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
2nd and 3.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Garoppolo now. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 30 big ones. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
11.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, Haywood.
Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Check 99. Check 99.
Pilot, 64. Weak.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready? 60 oars.
I smell fear in that offense.
Blue draw corkers. Shoot.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
70. Indy.
From the gun on 3rd down. Denny, and that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Here we go,
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
That one goes for 24 yards.
4-yard gain on the play. First down, Bills.
Here we go. 180!
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Mike, check. 59. Stop your bonnet. Check!
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Here we go.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hey, gun.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Here we go.
Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Alvin Kamara. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
We ain't giving up nothing. Get it.
They'll run here with Eckler. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
It's Eckler again. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Whether it's the toss or the pitch, you get him the ball outside the tackles on the edge. He's a tough man to bring down.
He certainly is, and it makes people wonder on the other side of the ball. Do I really want to deal with him when he gets a full head of steam? At the same time, he's also congratulating his tackle, tight end, wide receiver on that side. They gave him access to the corner and allowed him to build up that head of steam.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
90 Wolf. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, defense.
Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Here we go. 180! 65.
Let's go one more. Mike 54. Mike 54. We want this. Check it back.
11.
Wide. Get wide. Check.
Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to launch it for Washington. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
8 read.
Mike 54. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
5.
Going on the ground with Eckler. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Bam.
Operating from the gun. Denny, they'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Let's go, folks.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You got nothing.
1, Omaha.
Crunch.
On the ground, Kamara. Kamara has it stripped.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Go, tackle, let's go. We got this.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bills on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They run it again with Kamara. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Garoppolo now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Again, it's Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Bills on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Looking left side, Andrews went incomplete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
And it's 3rd down.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. But it's brought in by Washington. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Here we go.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now Kamara. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Joseph is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on second down. Denny there to knock that one away defensively. Eric Kendricks. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Denny, now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
It's fourth down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Hey, high 7.
On fourth down, Denny. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Miami first down and a 14-yard pickup. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Back to throw. Denny, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to throw. Denny, he's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Cut. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Hey, one set. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Denny. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
On fourth down, Denny. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bills are going to get the football back.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line.
Here we go. Wait, 80!
You run.
Stay hot.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what